Good afternoon folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well, and welcome to another video. So back in the bathroom then, and we're going to start doing some prep on the walls, preparation for plastering. So as we can see then, this wall is made of sand and cement covering a block wall. So sand and cement then has been used for millennia. The thing about sand and cement is the fact that it does become very dry and it does crumble, and you know, it can become quite unstable. So what we need to do then, the very first thing we need to do before we contemplate any plastering is to get rid of the loose plaster. And by loose plaster, I'm talking about that sort of stuff there, look. If you're not quite sure, just tap it. If it sounds hollow, you need to take it off. Okay, this sort of thing here, look. Now in older buildings like this, it may well be the case that you're tapping everywhere and all of the wall seems quite hollow because there's a lot of unstable plaster. What you need to do is remove the plaster back until you get to a solid piece, and the reality is in an older building it might be the case that you start pulling this stuff off, and by the time you finish you've got a wall with absolutely no plaster on it. Just the way things go, but there's absolutely no point whatsoever in trying to plaster over unstable plaster. So you need to go over it, take all this stuff off, look. So that's what I'm going to do. When we've done that, what we're going to do is to stabilize the wall using a PVA mix. So that will seal the wall, it will seal all the dust and make sure that we have a nice, strong, stable background to accommodate the plaster. So all this stuff needs to come off, look. So that's what we're going to be doing now. Now there will be situations like, for example, up here, whereby you have some really deep cracks. Now you can't ignore those. It might be a bit scary, but you can't ignore those. So what you'd need to do with something like this is to once again remove the bits of plaster which are unstable in that immediate vicinity and then cut them back. If you try and fill a little tiny gap like this, you're just going to have a little strip of plaster in there which is not going to be as strong or as stable as you cutting out a small trench and then filling it with a thicker, more meaningful splodge of plaster. So we need to think about that. But as we come along and as we do this, I'll show you some good examples. All right, so I'm going to stop talking and we'll start prepping this background. All right. Now you will inevitably come to pieces like this, look, where the wall joins the ceiling, and you might find some bits of plaster like this. Now, you know, tempting though it is to leave them there, you really need to take these out, and we can easily fill those with some plaster, some new plaster. Be cautious if you have an Artex roof, or an Artex ceiling rather. These bits here, look, they might come down really easily, but the best thing to do with those is to spray them with water or a PVA mix. Don't go scraping this stuff here, look, okay? So you need to be a little bit more cautious about that, just in case it's got any asbestos in it. So this is a weak PVA mix. bits like this, look. If the plaster's loose, it needs to come out. No point in leaving it there. And it's one of these things whereby, as I say, it might appear to be a bit scary initially, but do a little bit at a time. Practice makes perfect, and the more you do, the more confident you'll become. See, all this sort of stuff, it needs to come off, look. Okay, now almost certainly you will come across plugs in the wall which have been used to secure items previously, and we've got absolutely loads of them here, look. Now, how do you deal with them? Now, there will be different ways. I personally prefer just to knock them back into the wall, whereas some people prefer to take them out. So what I tend to do then is to get a big screw or a nail with a reasonable sized head on it, and just try and bang them back in the wall basically. Now, if for any reason you can't bang them into the wall and they're still protruding, you can either pull them out with a pair of pliers, or you can just cut the top off them with a Stanley knife. So I'm going to start off then using one of these just to see how we get on with that. And as we can see, look, that's gone in really nicely, and if you can just push them back in the wall like that, it just means that you're not making a hole even bigger, which you have to fill unnecessarily. That's good. And that's good. There we go, look, piece of cake. Now, you can see those big cracked bits of plaster there. Now, that little channel is not wide enough to pad out with plaster, so I need to make that bigger. We've also got some cracks over here, look, for example here. Okay, so clearly that plaster is loose, and we need to take that out until we get to sound plaster, and then we need to fill it. So, you know, that's quite solid. This bit isn't, so I'm going to cut it out using a Stanley knife, or you can use a small trowel, something like that. So anyway, let's just get that done now. Got a bit there as well, look. Right. So where these cracks are, look, we're just going to follow them around and just make them bigger. So I'm sorry about any shadow on the picture. So as I say, I mean, those little channels where the cracks were, they're so narrow, you're not going to realistically do anything with those. If you want to fill with a bit of plaster, it's going to be such a little tiny strip. You know, you're wasting your time, it's not going to do anything. It's going to be neither use nor ornament, so let's chop out some of this plaster so we can put a nice beefy bit of plaster in there. Obviously always be careful just in case there's any cables or anything hidden. There's a light up here, look, so it would make you be a little bit more careful as to whether or not, you know, there's going to be a cable down there somewhere. No, I know it's going to go straight across the ceiling there, but look, you know, just be careful. So let's just open that out. We can tell, can we not, that that is a bit of loose plaster. So look, there's no science to this, you just need to use a bit of common sense really. Let's get rid of that. As I say, apologies for any shadow on the film. I've got a light behind me, so. as I said previously, you may find that once you start removing old plaster, it seems like a never-ending thing, and you wonder whether you're just going to end up stripping down the whole wall. Sometimes you might have to, but that won't be the case with this, I hope. There we go, you can tell it's got a crack in it. Let's go check it, shall we? Okay. So you don't need to be cute with this end, just hack it out. Now it always starts to look pretty serious when you can see the brickwork, but that can be easily dealt with, don't worry about that. I will of course show you how to deal with it. Try and get nice straight edges if you can. Crack there, so guess what? Let's hoik it out. So after hacking out all of the loose plaster, this is what we've ended up with. And that just shows you how things can very quickly escalate. You know, you can have a small crack in the plaster, and by the time you finish, I think one of the things you need to do is just try and work out where you need to draw the lines. If not, you know, if I'd have just gone into this heavy-handed, I would have taken off all of the plaster, and it just makes the job much bigger than it actually needs to be. Okay.